Hey guys, welcome back to season 2 of Some of My Jokes Don't Land. This is a podcast that I created during this lockdown because I was bored with stuff. And I always thought there are a few things that I find really interesting and people don't talk about. And this is the right place to talk about it because why not? Where else can I talk about it? The first season was exclusively on an audio platform, like it was on multiple audio platforms, but I decided that the second season needed something more. And you're right, I decided to come on YouTube because a lot of the things that I was saying needed visual cues, and I feel that without visual cues, that thing were left unsaid. Few of the things were left unsaid. Hence, here I am back on YouTube. I actually started posting on YouTube when I was in the ninth grade. I just posted film reviews and other stuff, and I never came back. This is first time I'm uploading anything on YouTube other than random portfolios and shit. And it's really exciting because YouTube is a great platform, as we all know, and apparently this is what everybody watches. Like I watch YouTube 10 hours a day, so I can hardly imagine what other people are doing. But that's it. It's on YouTube now, and I hope you like this format because for the first season, randomly, like out of pure nothing, I created this. I didn't have a mic, I didn't have anything. I didn't have the camera. That's why I actually didn't record it on video the first time itself. And now that I have some of them back, I feel it's a good place to start again. And the first season was actually somehow really good for what it was. Like I really enjoyed making it. The process was amazing, and it was tiresome, but I enjoyed thoroughly. Plus, the response was the biggest surprise that I had because I feel like each episode on audio, like it has till now I think around 1,000 plus views, and that is insane. 1,000 listens to a 50-minute thing is like unheard of for somebody who is just starting. And I was really excited because somehow I feel that in the lockdown it helped because everybody is idle, plus my friends are really nice. I think that's why I got all of that listens. But seeing the demographics and other stuff, it was really exciting because I didn't imagine that even 50 people will listen to it, and there came like 1,000 listens like every episode, and it was really great. I hope the season replicates the same. Like I can only hope for the best, but that's all. And guys, for anybody who is listening to this on any audio platform, it's going to be the same. Only for the YouTube version, I'm going to add a few visual cues to help understand. So if you are listening on audio platforms, it's completely fine. If you're listening on video platform, rather you're watching on the video platform, then you have both the experiences. So that way I think we are sorted. So let's begin, guys. Let's begin the first episode of season 2 of Some of My Jokes Don't Land. And it's going to be a great episode because finally I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things of all time, which is sports. And last season I didn't cover sports at all. Like sports is actually, I would say, 40% of my life. I watch so much of sports, I can't even tell, and I didn't speak a word about it. I think I just spoke about UFC for like 2 seconds, and that's it. But this time I'm going all guns blazing. So this is the first episode that I'm going to start, and it's about IPL, guys. Yes, IPL is something I had to talk about because it's probably 60% of my childhood. I'm so much involved in IPL, I can't even say. I think it's shameful to an extent, things that I have done that I'm going to speak about, and it's going to be really exciting for me at least, and I hope you guys find it interesting. So, this is going to be me speaking about IPL. That's the first episode. So, let's get started, guys. This is Ayan, and you're listening to Some of My Jokes Don't Land. Let's get started. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you have stuck through and Let's get on with IPL. First of all, let me tell what IPL means to me. So IPL for any Indian is probably like another season. It's like another festival when it comes. And this year, I think we needed it finally. I'm an avid football fan, and this podcast was almost going to be about football, but I stopped everything and I decided that wait, cricket is my first love, and I think it's always going to be. So why not talk about cricket from the get-go? And I felt like, yeah, that's the right move to do. And also perfect timing. I think this podcast comes out on 20th and the IPL starts on the 19th, like one day before the podcast goes. I think it's the perfect place to start. First of all, I would say I'm from Kolkata. I'm an avid KKR fan right from the very start. The first three seasons, I was very small, I think, to understand cricket. I was not small to understand cricket, but I was not into it directly. My journey started from the fourth season, I think, when they reshuffled everything. I think Gambhir's captaincy, that is where, but I was very much aware of everything. So for me, I had like four or five friends, like who we have grown up together, and we are avidly into it to a point. We went to the same school, and every match day we would sit and we'd make team sheets for every match. One was a RCB and KKR supporter. One was an avid Dhoni fan and a CSK supporter. And I was obviously KKR supporter, obviously. And it was so much fun talking about it, discussing about it. Anybody who's following football or anything, any sports, I think the majority of the fun part is before and after the game. You get to sit and discuss with your friend. The bond that you grow between your friends who are following the same sports, I think that relationship is a very tight knit bond because you guys follow the sport together and you get to develop the friendship. And similar thing happens with us. We were not very good friends, but then we started following IPL and we got better in the friendship part as well. And also we were watching IPL, so our cricket knowledge increased, and I feel it was a great thing. It was actually a very prominent thing in my childhood. I don't know if it was for you guys as well, but it was for me. For anybody who is not aware of IPL, I would say it's basically a cricket league. It's like the Premier League just for cricket. It's in India. I think everybody is aware of it. I think financially and crowd wise, I think it is one of the top three leagues of any sports in the whole world. So I think you are well aware of it by now. Anyway, so that was what my childhood was like. Like I was growing up, and I watched cricket on my television, and IPL was one of the most prominating things that I watched mostly, to a point that I got excited for IPL first, and then I got excited for World Cups and other stuff, which I don't know if it is a good thing, but IPL like is a thorough engagement that you have with cricket. And national, like, let's say a World Cup or something comes after a very prolonged periods of time, so I get it. Anyway, I think even IPL had a segment or like a season where they called it Khushiyon ka Tyohar, which is a festival of happiness, and which is actually right, because I remember that throughout the year we would sit and discuss, we would sit and see what players have come, what are the newer teams that are probable to win next year, what is up with our teams, and how is the competition going to be, basically creating all this stuff. That time I think there was no fantasy league, but we created our own fantasy league in our school, and it was a lot of fun. I think most of the times we would sit and discuss about what player to buy and other stuff when initially the bidding and everything happens, like earlier, I think February-ish. This year everything is fucked up, so let's not talk about this year. Like, this year I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll talk about it much later. Currently I'm saying that I would come to school, I would sit in the first or second bench, and we would sit and see the team list, probables for playing, and my friends would do the same thing. It was really good because our knowledge of cricket increased, and also, like I said, the bond and friendship grew. And I think it was a really exciting process for because of that reason itself. Now, talking about the IPL itself is like I said, I would first start with a few of my favorite moments of IPL, and then we'll discuss about the IPL this year. I will be going through team lists and I'll be telling you guys about teams I like this year and what are my probable top fours and probable bottom fours, if that's a thing. And I think we'll discover what's in my head about IPL. And please, you guys also talk to me anywhere you can find and tell me what are your picks and other stuff. So, first of all, I would like to say that I think you all are aware that what has happened in the IPL. So, I'm assuming all those things and I'm proceeding. I'll be giving away a few pointers here and there in case you don't know, but mostly I'll be imagining. So, if you are aware of what has happened in IPL, KKR for the first three seasons were basically nothing. Like they finished on the bottom of the table all the times, and it was pretty shit being a KKR fan. And it was shit, yeah, basically shit. Also, because it was shit, because first of all, our Dada was captain, best captain before Dhoni, no doubt in that. And also, so many fucking good players. If on paper, the KKR team back then was like brilliant. Like there is nothing to talk about. Like we had Brendan McCallum, we had Ricky Ponting, we had Dada, we had in bowlers we had Shoaib Akhtar, Umar Gul, Ajanta Mendes. Ajanta Mendes back then was a mystery spinner and he was fantastic, but none of them clicked. We also had players like let's say uh, Lakshmi Ratan Shukla. We had other players also. Who was that guy? We actually had Ishant Sharma. We had, I think, Akash Chopra and stuff, but they were not that good. But that's the thing. Like on a, we had Chris Gale. Fuck, I had forgotten. We had Chris fucking Gale, and we did nothing. 3 years waste. I feel. There's something I'll recommend about KKR that you should watch. And on that topic, I should remind you that towards the end of the episode, I recommend stuff, and that's going to stay the same. I'm going to recommend a few movies or video stuff and also music. Please stay for that. And that's what I wanted to say. That KKR had a bomb ass lineup. Like there's no complaint about the lineup that KKR had. It failed like miserably, and it was one of the worst things to watch being a KKR fan. On the fourth season, when they reshuffled the entire team, I like there was a bit of hope because Gambhir came in and the team changed and we performed really well. I think so far KKR's main issue was that the bowling was not good, and from the fourth season onwards, the bowling has been our primary thing. Like even though batsmen are so, the bowlers are always great, and that is a very positive for me in T20 cricket. I feel. Anyway, the fifth season where we won was fucking one of the best season for an IPL fan because so many things happened. So fucking many things. And first of all, Gambhir was bomb. He was the man right from the start. Brilliant captaincy, and I think he had like the best form of his career. I think he was hitting plus 50 runs in over 8 matches. Like there was a streak of things happening. But as I say, like good things come at a very great and cinematic way sometimes, and the final was probably one of the most exciting things you could have ever watched. For people who don't remember, IPL season 5, KKR had finals with Chennai, and wow, it was in Chennai also. And let me just tell you the whole story because I think of it like 5 or 6 times a month. So basically, we were playing really good. KKR went to the finals, but Balaji was a bowler. He was injured, so Brett Lee had to come in the team because we can only have four foreign players, right? So Balaji is Indian, but he went out, so he needed a fast bowler. So Brett Lee came in the final, and because a foreigner was added, a foreigner had to be taken out. So Brendan McCallum was dropped for Manvinder Bisla. Anybody who has heard of Bisla, like if he's in your memory, I think you remember what I'm going to tell. So, like I said, Bisla came in. He's a wicketkeeper batsman. He's not tried, not tested. He's just a random person KKR had in their team. And we opened like first batting Chennai, and that year Sunil Narain was on fire, but on finals he didn't run. And I think we had over 190 runs to chase, and that was a tough thing for KKR in the finals. And it was one of those moments where everybody knew that if Gambhir is clicking, we are winning it. And what happened in the very, I think, first or second over, Ben Helfenhaus bowled. I think it was bowled at a stump. I don't remember. I think it was a bowled or an LBW. I don't remember. But Gambhir was out, and I remember like almost shrieking and like, what the fuck happened, man? The only informed batsman in our team is gone. So Gambhir was gone and he was kicking shit and stuff. But Ben Hilfenau's ball was like it was a curve. It was I don't even know what it was, but it swung so much. I was amazed. Like what the fuck happened? And yeah, by the way, you can tell that I remember it in verbatim because it was a mental, like it was a photograph. There was things for me back then, and it was really really depressing to see Gambhir go out so early. But then what went on to happen? Like nobody, like you cannot write it anywhere because Bisla stepped in, scored like 82 runs, and took all the pressure off Jack Callis. And he single-handedly took KKR to 130, 140. He eventually got out, but that was something nobody had expected from a player like Bisla because nobody is depending on him. And I think that's why also he was very chill because nobody expected him to do, and he went out and he put up those runs. And KKR were in a good position. Then he went out to a delivery of I think Albi Morkel, and then pretty soon then Jack Callis came in, and Jack Callis was playing, but he was playing slow. But after Bisla went out, he started hitting those things. But then when he got out, it was a very crucial moment because I think Shakibul Hassan and Manoj Tiwari came into bat. I think there was another player, but I currently don't remember who came. I think it was Shukla, Lakshmi Ratan Shukla, probably. I don't remember. But anyway, those two people actually finished the match and won it for KKR. And I think there's a very good story that Joy Sengupta, his name is Joy Sengupta only, I feel, who was I think he was the head of KKR, like management or something. He told, I know his first name. It's Joy. I think it's Joy Sengupta only. You should check him out. He has this TED talk where he explains. Also, he goes on to interviews and explains where how, like it was like a very cinematic thing because I think on the end of the 19th over, there was a catch that went up, and I think. Murli Vijay, or was it Murli Vijay? I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly. It was either Murli Vijay or Shadab Jakati who took the catch, and he didn't realize that it was actually a no ball. And he took the catch and he started celebrating. And during those celebrations and stuff, those two ran three extra points. I think it was the fifth ball of the 19th over. And then they got that 2 points, and that got Shakib on strike. And on the last ball of the 19th over, I think we required something 13, 14 runs. Shakib did a scoop to the back, and it was a four. And that's why in the last over, I think we only needed 9 runs or something. And it was an amazing, amazing thing when KKR won. I remember jumping because I was very young. It was a very good memory for me. Uh, that was my first thing, one of the best experiences from IPL. The second one is actually our second win because similarly we went into the finals alongside Punjab. Punjab usually doesn't show up in a final, but they came really good that year, and it was really nice. Also, another chase that KKR had to pull off, and this was also very cinematic because. First of all, I think Ridhiman Shah, who is actually from Bengal, scored a century in the finals. And the finals was happening in Chennai. And I think Manish Pandey did some 90 odd runs and took like most of the pressure off. But I remember towards the end, it was very difficult for KKR because I think they needed, too much runs in the last over, and Piyush Chawla was batting and Mitchell Johnson was bowling, which is like hilarious when I talk about it because he's a pro bowler and he's a very low order batsman. Like he's a spinner, Piyush Chawla, and you see Piyush Chawla, for people who don't know, you don't expect him to win matches for you. He doesn't have that look. But oh my god, I think KKR just needed 5 runs to win in the last over or something, and I remember Johnson was just bowling Yorkers. I think he bowled all 5 balls to Yorkers right in the toe, and somehow he thought that let me make a short delivery and he will miss. And from no fucking where, Piyush Chawla hit him for a six, and it was like, fuck, man, what's going on? Because KKR won again. I think it was in the sixth. I think it was a six, five KKR won, six didn't. I think seven. KKR have only won twice, so that was that moment that I'm also remember vividly the second win that we had, because again cinematic finish, like you can't script this, as people say. Now moving on to another memory, and this is something which is not inclusive including of KKR, which is basically Chris Gale hitting Pune Warriors India for fucking 175 runs. The first innings that Brendan McCullum played of 157, which is like the highest ever till KKR, till Gale uh, destroyed the record of an individual IPL scorer. Even I'm saying I think it is the individual highest T20 score ever. I remember watching the match and thinking like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck is going on? Why is uh, like how is this possible? How can you hit 175 individually in a T20 match? I never imagined. I always thought that it was almost godlike what McCallum did, and then I saw Gale completely beating that record by 20 odd runs, and it was like, wow, how is this possible? Also against Pune Warriors India, who at that time I don't think if Dada was coaching that season, but I remember from the match, only thing I remember other than Gale is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar bowling, and I think also Rahul Sharma was bowling probably, and it was very heartbreaking to see how what happened to Pune Warriors India, but Gale, man, fucking Gale, he still holds up. Everybody writes him off at the start of every year, and then he fucking kills all the predictions and comes out of it, and that is one of the most dangerous batting performances I have seen. Like Russell has done a few of those where he has come and made quick runs in the last few years, but I don't think it's comparable to what Gale did that day. And that was another memory that I vividly remember. Another memory that I would say again it involves KKR is that I think that year, India won the under 19 World Cup, and Unmukh Chand was the captain, and everybody was talking about how this guy is going to change. This guy is going to become the next Kohli or the next like Sachin. Like every year, some player comes, and I vividly remember that everybody was talking about it. And the first IPL match of the season was between KKR and Delhi. And what happened was that I think the oh, it was the first ball of the IPL. Yes, it was the first ball of the IPL, and Unmukh Chand was facing Brett Lee, and everybody was talking like he's going to be the next Virat Kohli, next thing. Brett Lee fucking came in and took the stumps first fucking ball, and I remember like fuck, his career is gone. It's basically like after that, genuinely Unmukh Chand was not heard of. It's sad for Indian cricket. I don't know what happened to him. Like he didn't reach the places that he had to reach probably. But I feel for me, I feel that's where he lost. That's exactly where he lost because like it was again very cinematic because you see the commentators talk about him, you read about him in the newspaper how this player is going to do great stuff, and Brett Lee just came in and like fucking took him out first ball of the season, and it was another great experience, like because it was very something that it is with me still now, and I think that's why I'm talking about it. So that was one another moment where I vividly remember what happened. Also, I think the last year final counts, but I don't want to talk about Mumbai or Chennai. I'm a great admirer of both the clubs, but being a KKR fan, I don't think I should talk about them. Anyway, I'm a great fan of Mumbai and Chennai. I love Dhoni. I can't say anything bad about him. But yeah, like I would not talk about much. But only thing I would say about last year's final, Malinga had a shit match. He did one ball right, won the tournament, and became a hero, which I think people should talk about. He had a bad last match. But anyway, they won. So what to say? Anyway, moving on. Another great memory that I have from the IPL is for people who are not from Kolkata. I'd say something that Saurav Ganguly, or Dada as everybody calls, he is a very big symbol in West Bengal, especially for Bengal. And he was in KKR. He was captain of KKR for 3 years almost, and then he left and went to Pune. Then he finally left cricket. But there was this match where, for the first time, KKR had let Dada go. I think it was in the fourth season itself, and KKR were playing Pune Warriors, which he was captaining back then after he left the KKR job. And KKR was playing Pune in Kolkata, and I remember there were talks about it everywhere, every fucking where people were talking about it. And on the match day, when they're doing that pre-match things and stuff, you saw that the stadium was divided. It was all blue shirts and not purple and violet, which is KKR colors. So I would say 60% was supporting Pune that day, and 40% were KKR fans. I think KKR won that day. I think Dada got out after trying to hit a run, and he was trying to hit something, and then he got caught. And that was a very, very big moment, because I feel it is another, again, something that people remember in Kolkata, that Dada was asked to leave, rather fired from KKR, and he had to go play for Pune Warriors India. Anyway, that was another memory, and I think I have many, many more. I think Naren's hat trick. Again, I'm a very big KKR fan, so I'm sorry if I'm not addressing your teams, but what to do? I love KKR. So those were the things I remember vividly, and these are few of my favorite moments from the IPL. And next time we will be talking about this year's IPL and how I feel few players are very important and you guys should basically look out for them. I'm not going to give you that Dream 11 tips and stuff. Those are not for me. I don't do Dream 11 shit. I'm busy with FPL, man. Talking about FPL, I will probably make a football podcast as well. Let's see. But sticking to IPL, now I'll be talking about this year's IPL, what's exciting, what are my predictions, what I feel is going to happen by the time it ends, and top four and bottom four, like I said. Yeah, guys, so this about this year's IPL, okay. So first of all, I'd like to clarify that it was actually not Joy Sengupta. It was Joy Bhattacharya. I just saw it, and I'll be going through the team lists of this year's IPL squads, and I'll be telling you a few people that I find are really, really going to be interesting. So interesting. So please, like, listen, because I feel these are my picks who are actually going to shine. And then let me also review the squad a bit, because to be really honest, I have not been up about the squads and stuff. And trust me, I'll not bore you guys. I'll just talk a little bit about the teams and stuff. So I'll be starting with Chennai Super Kings as usual, everybody's favorite, and right on top we have Dhoni, Imran Tahir. Now, because this time it's going to be in Dubai, and also again I don't know why people don't get it. Imran Tahir is a great, great T20 bowler. So I think last year he was not even picked, and then Chennai picked him on the second day. It was really shocking because he is a very fucking specialist T20 bowler, and I think anybody should have gotten him. But anyway, again, we are playing this year in Dubai and UAE, other stuff. Is it in UAE or is it in Dubai? Fuck. I'm having a brain freeze moment. Anyway, yeah, so basically there the pitches are very, very like friendly to spinners, and I think Imran Tahir is going to play a very, very good role. Another person to look out, I don't think Shane Watson is going to work now. I just have a hunch. Ambati Raidu is a star keeper, always. Keeper in the sense, not a keeper. It's basically somebody who you keep because he's going to be very trustworthy. Next, who else? Jadeja obviously is going to be good. Deepak Chahar. Deepak Chahar is a good bowler I actually like. Mitchell Shatner, I think he's going to play a key part. Shardul Thakur, Fab Duplessis, obviously good. Wayne Bravo, Josh Hazelwood, Sam Curran. I think these players might have a good role to play. Karan Sharma. Anyway, I think they have a good spin lineup, and also I think they're on that part where their main team or main core is depleting slowly, and they have to change it. I think that's the thing. But I think because Dhoni retired from international cricket and other stuff, this is a very good chance for him to show. And I think he will also retire after his next win. I think he's waiting to win another IPL, and I think he will retire from IPL as well. Let's see. But I think Jadeja is always a key player. He has always been on good form. I think they are lacking a bit on the batting, but I think they have depth with all rounders, so I think that will pull off. But it's all about. I think Dhoni will pull it off somehow, like every year that he does. Anyway, moving on to Delhi Capitals. Now Delhi, I'm not a very big fan of. Like I don't know why, but Shreyas Iyer is their captain, which is good. I think he's a promising talent. They have Rabada. Rabada is great. He's a very informed bowler. I think he will shine. Also, Delhi has this habit of picking good bowlers. I don't know. They, I think, had Albi. They had Morne Morkel in his prime as well, and I think they had Zahir Khan and other stuff. I think they are very good with fast bowlers. They pick good fast bowlers. Stoinis is a very good, let's say, T20 player. I think Stoinis will come in hand. Ishan Sharma, like I said, Ashwin. They have great Indian lineup so far. They have Rahane. Actually, they are looking better than I thought. Shikhar Dhawan. They have a great Indian side. Come on. I think they can do something if they play really well. But I think they are like that team that never finds their way, and they never find a way to make things happen. I don't know why it happens with them, because on paper they look really good. Mohit Sharma, they have Prithvi Shaw, they have a good batting side, man. They have a great batting lineup. They have Akshar Patel for spinning. Who else? Fuck, man, they have a great batting lineup. What's Amit Mishra? Amit Mishra is a very favorite player of mine, because I think he has taken like three hat tricks in this IPL, which is highest for anybody. I think he's also the leading wicket taker in overall all the IPL. So Amit Mishra might shine again on this spinner friendly pitches. But come on, they have a great batting side. Rishabh Pant. They have Rishabh Pant for Indian batters only. Rishabh Pant. They have Akshar Patel who can bat towards the end. They have Prithvi Shaw. They have who else? They have Shikhar Dhawan. They have Rahane. They have Shreyas Gopal who is playing, and also Shreyas Iyer. Sorry, not Gopal. Shreyas Iyer, who is the captain, who is also a good batsman. And also they have good bowlers. Their Indian pickup bowlers is also good. They have Ishant Sharma, Ashwin, and Amit Mishra. They actually have a good, very balanced side. I feel. I don't know how the captaincy is going to turn out, but they also have Akshar Patel who can bowl as well as bat towards the end. And I think, fuck man, I thought they were worse than this, but they're really good. Come on, let's hope they do something good. Moving on to Punjab. Punjab. I actually really like Punjab side. They have KL Rahul. Punjab, I think I meant that I like the team overall. I think they're very good, but not this. I don't know about this. Let's see. KL Rahul, Ishan Podal. They're a good Indian pick. They have Jimmy Neesham. Great. He was with KKR, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. I think last year only he was there. Chris Jordan is a good. I think he's from England, and I think he's a good all rounder kind of thing. Deepak Huda. They are very, very Indian heavy. They have Glenn Maxwell. So I think if he works like those one of those seasons, he will work. Sarfaraz Khan. Who else? Mayank Agarwal. They have Shami. Great, great. Nicholas Puran. They have Gale. Fuck. They have Gale. I hope Gale works. He hasn't been working like for a couple of years, but I hope he works this year. But I think they have a good, on papers, it's not looking that great, but I think if some of them can pull off, it's going to be really good. They have a very good Indian pick, which is very good in IPL, because those are your you get to pick 7 players from Indian side and 4 players from foreign, so that way it's good. Uh, what else? What else? Okay. See, on paper, I think KL Rahul can pull it off if he is a good captain. I feel he's a good captain and he can take over from Virat Kohli. Let's see what happens. But I think, like, eventually, but I think on paper it looks okay, okay, not that great. I was much more surprised with the Delhi team. It was with KKR squad. KKR squad, Dinesh Karthik captain, Shivam Mavi, good. Sandeep Warrior, Kuldeep Yadav, Morgan, Pat Cummins, Nareen, Nikhil Nayak, Siddharth, Russell, Lockie Ferguson. Okay. KKR has a very good team, man. Like, I think if they can pull it off, they can do it. Nagar Koti, I don't know if you know, Nagar Koti is a player who was great in Under 19 World Cup, but he suffered, like, I think, physical problems, and for 2 years he couldn't perform. This year is his chance. Again, I feel KKR is missing one batsman, Indian batsman. I feel. Other than that, they have a great fucking, like, the spin duos, Kuldeep Yadav, Sunil Narine, they're going to kill it. Sunil Narine also provide that thing on the top where he comes to bat. Like, it's a hit or a miss, but if it hits, it's like very good thing. We have Russell who will obviously do a rampage. We have Morgan, so I think we'll have stability. Dinesh Karthik, I think will finally get a hold of the captaincy that he is supposed to do. Let's hope. We have great Indian fast bowling options. I think Shivam Mavi, Warrior, Krishna, also, Pat Cummins as a foreign option is great. He's very good, I think. Lockie Ferguson or Pat Cummins, I think that will be the choice, but I think we'll go with Pat Cummins most of the times. I think KKR looks great on paper, and I think they're going to do great as well. And I think I'm a bit biased, but I feel KKR can make it top four. But I'll talk about top four next in a few moments. Mumbai Indians. Okay, let's go to Mumbai Indians. The defending champions, Rohit Sharma, obviously. It's going to be great. Quinton de Kock, Tare is good. Saurav Tiwari, fuck, he looks so different. He had those long hair back then. Now he's Bumrah, Kulkarni. James Pattinson is there. Nathan Coulter, Nile, Trent Bolt. Fuck, they have a great fast bowling lineup. Okay, they have Surya Kumar Yadav, which who was in KKR, and I feel he's a very dark horse. Like, he is like Ambati Raidu in that sense. Like, he's going to hold the fort when nothing is working. I feel he's that kind of a player, and any team is lucky to have him. Fuck, man, this team looks great. They have Chris Lynn. I had forgotten KKR had sold him. They have Chris Lynn. They have a good batting lineup and a fast bowling lineup. I don't know about the spin options actually. I don't see much of like popular spin options. That bothers me because I think it's going to be the deciding factor in this year's IPL considering where it's taking place. But I don't see much spin options, and I think that's a bit concerning for Mumbai. But I feel they'll pull it off because I think Rohit Sharma is again a great captain. I think he can also take over after Kohli. If I think they're of the same age, so I'm not saying from Kohli, but I think he should get a chance to captain India as well. I feel he's a great captain. But that's it. I think they are lacking in spin options. I think that is a key factor. Let's move to Rajasthan. Rajasthan, what are they doing? I'm clueless about Rajasthan apart from Steve Smith and Ben Stokes. Yes, Steve Smith, Ben Stokes. They're obviously great. Sanju Samson has always been their thing. And Utai, Kartik, Ankit Rajput, Shreyas Gopal, Jaydev Unatkar. So they are doing pretty good on paper. O'Shane Thomas is good. Who else? They have Jofra Archer. Jofra Archer is again like one of the uh, brighter stars in fast bowling currently, and I feel he's going to David Miller. They have Josh Butler. They actually have a better foreign pick than in the Indian pick. I feel they have Varun Aaron, Tom Curran, Robin Uthappa, Ruth Joshi. I think this they have much more players from the foreign side to depend on. Other than I feel they have their main strength is their foreign team and not the in-house Indian team. So let's see how they pick the side because if they pick the perfect side, I think it is going to be very, very difficult to compete against them. But I feel they have a good chance considering their Steve Smith, Ben Stokes, and other players. I feel that's going to be a key thing. Okay, so moving on to RCB. Now, RCB, I don't talk about much because they are always a favorite, but they never live up to the expectations. They're basically like South Africa in IPL, like who choke fucking every time. They're always top contenders, but they never perform. So I think people have slowly started to take them out of the favorites somehow. I don't know, because it has been so many fucking years when they've come this close, just given it all up. It's just sad. Anyway, Virat Kohli, obviously, I don't think I have to say anything. Virat Kohli is going to be awesome. Chris Morris, I feel, is a great T20 player. He delivers when needed. So that way, they're good. They have Moeen Ali, they have Aaron Finch, they have ABD Villiers. They have great batting so far. Sabaz Adam, Parsib Patel, okay. They have Chahal, who is a good spin option. Navdeep Saini, okay. Dale Steyn, fuck man, they have good. Those are great foreign like options. They have good foreign options so far. Pawan Negi is going to be very eventful this year, I feel. I think it's his kind of a year because if he gets a chance to play, he's going to do well. Okay, who else? Shivam, we have Umesh Yadav. Nice, again, nice Indian option to pick. Washington Sundar is a spin bowler as far as I remember. I feel he's going to be good as well. Adam Zampa is also another spin option. So they have good spin and bowling options, and they also have good batting thing. I feel they are very balanced on paper, but I'm not going to take any calls with RCB given the experience because they look really good every year. They have looked way better some years and they have done shit. So I'm not going to hope anything. I hope they come in top four at least because I think they have that potential. Virat Kohli single-handedly can pull you out of anything. I feel at times. So that way I think they are sorted. But let's see other things what happens. Let's move on to last team, that is Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad is always pretty exciting for me because I think there's that dark, not they're like that thing that nobody focuses on, but they always have a good team. First of all, David Warner. Okay, the captain. I think in the last 6 years he has been the highest run scorer 3 times, which is fucking insane considering what IPL is. This guy never stops. This guy never stops, and I'm a very big fan of his batting. And basically, every time we face him, I'm scared that we are going to lose. I've actually seen him play live. I'll talk about the two live matches that I have been on, and they were great. Like two are what I remember, like briefly. So I'll talk about them, but that's it. David Warner, Rashid Khan is going to be very vital. He's a great spinner. He's going to be very vital again. Riddhiman Shah, again a very dark horse, like Raidu, like Surya Kumar Yadav, like him himself. Like you can always depend on him. Sandeep Sharma was in Punjab. He's a good swing bowler. He will come in handy, I feel. Mitchell Mars, who Mohammad Nabi, they have two good spinners. They have two good spin options. I had forgotten about him. Thampi, Billy, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar again. They're good bowling so far. They have good bowling so far. Kane Williamson. How would I forget? He's an SRH. Fuck. Shabazz Nadeem. They have great. Fuck. Johnny Barristo, Manish Pandey. Like, I don't remember being them so balanced, man. They're really good on paper. They have good spin options. They have good fast bowling options. They have a great batting lineup as well. Fuck. They're a very probable top four contestant, I feel like. Okay, okay. I get it now. Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys the top four according to me. I had seen whatever I had to see, and I think top four this year is going to be pretty interesting. By seeing, I think Mumbai is going to be there for sure because of their run and their team, their captaincy, everything is going to pan out to them. I feel also that KKR has a chance to be top four. But I'm really concerned now that I have seen the sheets and Hyderabad looks promising, Delhi looks promising. Chennai is always a favorite, but I feel that this year Dhoni is going to shine, but I don't think they make it to top four. I think it's a very controversial thing to say, but I don't know what to do. It never works. Chennai always make it to the finals. Who to pick, man? Who to pick? Okay, so basic options, I think I would have chosen Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and somebody else. And this somebody else would be, I think Hyderabad for me. I think this year is going to be Hyderabad, considering their team sheet. But I won't put aside Rajasthan, Delhi also, because I think they can come pretty close. I have no hopes from RCB. Like, I've given up, but I feel it can still happen. Let's see what happens. But I think I am very on the fence about Chennai, and that's why I don't want to say anything. But I feel they don't make it this year because their team looks very disbalanced. They also don't have Raina, who is their most star player. Like, Dhoni is a good captain, obviously, but I think Raina has the most runs and most caps, and his absence is a very big loss to the mentality of the side. So I think that way, that's how it works. But I feel that's it. Those were my picks for IPL, and I think I'm saying it again. I think it's Mumbai. I think it's KKR. I'll put Hyderabad first, and then I'll think about Chennai and Delhi, and also Rajasthan. Some. I don't want to think about RCB at all, but yeah, I feel it's going to be. I think it's Chennai only. I think so. Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Hyderabad is my top four pick. Bottom four, let's not do. Let me pick bottom two. I feel bottom two might be, who can be bottom two? Rajasthan. Rajasthan can be bottom, right? Probably. I'm not going to pick bottom because I know whatever I say might not pan out, and people are going to like, what the fuck did you say? And it happens. It's sports. Nobody can predict it. But yeah, so those are my picks for this year's IPL. Those are things I wanted to speak about this year's IPL. It's very weird this year because it's not in India. I think it has happened once before also. I think second season that happened in South Africa. Also, we had another season in UAE partly before also. I think because of elections and stuff. But this year completely, it's everything is fucked up, pandemic and stuff. The very reason we have this fucked up thing, the podcast, is because of the pandemic. So it's not a surprise. So that's it. I think that is off for all the IPL related stuff. Now I'm going to recommend you few stuff like usual. And let's start with recommendations of movies and stuff. So because it's IPL, I'm not going to recommend anything else. I'm going to recommend a few things about cricket that you will find interesting. First of all, watch the Mumbai Indians documentary Cricket Fever on Netflix. I think it's great. It's like that all or nothing things on Prime that they do with football stuff. Uh, Football I'll talk later, but yeah, you guys should check it out. Cricket Fever, it's really good. It's about Mumbai Indian, in depth about their a particular season they have taken, and they have done in depth like things about back end scenes, what's happening. They're following basically throughout the season and things what seeing what's going on. It's really great. It gives you an inside view of what happens in IPL. Also, the next thing that I'm going to recommend, and I hope you find it somewhere because I think it's available on torrent, because it's known as Living with KKR. Yeah, fascinating name, but it was actually a documentary kind of thing that I think Discovery did. I think it was like at least 4 or 5 years ago. It was on. It is a TV program. It's not a Netflix series. But if it came out today, it would come out in this Cricket Fever or All or Nothing kind of formats. That's what I'm talking about. And I think you guys should check this out because it really gives a perception about KKR and how it has come. Because it has the perfect story. It failed first 3 years, then became champions two times in a span of 3 years. So that way we have a very like cinematic story, you might say. But I think it's a great thing. Although Shah Rukh Khan has so much insight, so much knowledge to spare, and I think they have done it in a great way before these things existed of making sports documentaries. That way, I feel Living with KKR. These are very IPL specific things that you need to see. You should definitely check them out. Now I'll recommend a movie cricket documentary that I saw. I think over the last 2 months. I think 2 months ago I saw. It's known as Death of a Gentleman. It's about two cricket enthusiasts and two cricket journalists, the same people, who go on a journey to find the answer to a simple question, which is what's going to happen to Test cricket. And let me just stop you right there before you go on thinking that it's going to be boring. It's not boring at all. And it's not actually entirely about Test cricket. They discover how that the death of Test cricket is because of other multiple reasons, and it quickly goes into those things. So don't worry, it's not boring at all. It's actually one of the very good documentaries that I've seen so this year so far, and it is probably one of my most favorite ones, considering cricket. So do check it out. It's also not available anywhere, so you have to torrent it. I found it after such a long time. If you DM me, I would give you a quicker way to find it if you're interested. But yeah, so those are my movie picks. I would recommend another thing that you should watch. Hassan Minhaj on his show, The Patriot Act, did a 20-minute thing on cricket, I think last year. It's really good and insightful. I think you guys should check it out. I think it's very interesting what happens in it and his perspective of how corruption has affected cricket and stuff. So basically, I'm giving out stuff that are related to cricket. I think those are enough for today for the first episode of this season. I think it's enough. Moving on to music recommendations. Now, I'm actually not listening to very much new music for a very long time, so I don't know what to give. What I'm saying is that I wake up in the morning and I listen to. It's going to sound very weird, but I listen to classical music somehow. It really, I think it gives a very good start to the day for me. Whenever the day starts, like it can be 3 in the afternoon, or I listen to classical music to get my beat going. And it's not only Western classical, I listen to Indian classical music also, and I think it's very refreshing in the morning. Anyway, I'm not going to recommend you classical music. Another artist I'm listening to right now, which is very old school artist, but I have discovered him very recently. Discovered it since I knew of him, but I was not listening to him. Is Billy Joel. Billy Joel is somebody I'm listening to because so many of his songs are in The Boys, the series that is happening on Amazon Prime right now, that I have it's constantly in my ear, and I started listening to him and I found it good. Like it's not very good, but it's obviously not for me and not for music of our times, but I think it holds ground in overall music, and I think you should give it a try. So Billy Joel is my recommendation for the music. Listen to Billy Joel. Also listen to all not listen see all the movies that I spoken about. I think they're also good watch. And that's it, guys. I think that is enough for the first episode, and I hope you guys had fun. You had a really great time. I finally got to speak about IPL and things I like in sports. And tell me how you liked the podcast in video form. For anybody who is on an audio platform, I am sure nothing's going to change. Everything's going to be remain the same. Or for anybody watching on YouTube, first of all, hi, I'm Ayan, and second of all, I'm going to put out individual clips of I think few of the highlights of this thing, and then they're going to come out separately. Also, if you're not interested in going through the whole thing, I'm going to put timestamps so that it's easier for you to follow. Like if anybody wants to just listen to this year's IPL analysis that I did, not analysis, recommendations and suggestions of players to watch out for, teams to watch out for. If you want to just see this, please click on those things. Also, if anybody wants to skip to just to the recommendations, I'll be giving out that. So basically, I'll be making a timestamp. It will be very obvious to know given how YouTube works. And that's it, guys. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time too. IPL has been a very big part of my life ever since I've grown up. And thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. This is me, Ayan. I hope you had a great time. You were listening to some of my jokes don't land. Bye bye.